The 21-year-old victim of an impersonation scam has come forward to share his story. Police say there are features in this scam that are unusual, showing that scammers have also changed their tactics so that they can appear more believable. Our reporter Gwyneth has been following this case. She joins us now to talk through the details. Gwyneth, I was speaking to you earlier. You feel this is a more complex scam than we have seen in the past. Tell us more about that.
So what happened was that this 21-year-old young man, he was approached by some people who told him that they were Chinese officials from the government and that he or his family members were going to be a victim of a kidnapping plot. But if he helped them, they could then smoke out these kidnappers, these would-be so-called kidnappers. So he pretended to be kidnapped and sent them some materials in order to help these so-called officials identify these kidnappers. But in turn, what they actually did, these impersonators, they used those materials and sent it to his family members and tried to ransom him for 1 million renminbi, or about 200,000 Singapore dollars.
So, generally speaking, young people, they're on the internet, they watch films, they have friends, they are less likely to fall victim to scams. This is the general belief. In this instance, this boy was young, just 21.
Exactly. So I think, generally speaking, scams try to, they try to prey on a very strong emotion. And in this case, it was really his love for his family members, because he was told that they could be in some imminent danger. So they used that to kind of, trick him into believing that this is real. But on top of that, they also said that he also said it was a very long process of gaining his trust. It was over a time period of about a month. And also they produced documents that seemed to prove that this kidnapping plot was real. Now, the police were also saying that another key feature of this was that he was isolated. He was told to keep this entire thing a secret and not to tell anybody. And in turn, the police also pointed out that this is actually a warning sign, a telltale sign. If you're being told all these stories and then being told, don't tell anyone about this, this should set off alarm bells that something fishy is going on. And also, if you see that your family member seems to be behaving slightly weirdly, seems to be keeping something from you, this could also be a sign that they may be under this sort of scam as well. In turn, this young man, he was very, very ashamed, of course, when he realized that he was a victim of a scam and when his family members had actually been told that he had been so-called kidnapped. And he shared that he had wanted to actually tell his family members about this scam, but he hadn't eventually, because he felt that he didn't want to worry them that they might be part of a kidnapping plot in that sense. But that this was something that he actually said he would have done differently if he could do it all over again.
I hope to confirm the truth of the cheaters at the very at the beginning. Yes. Or maybe I can communicate with my family and mold the discourse, this matter.
Oh, Gwyneth, this style of scamming where you have an official claiming to be from China saying for whatever reason you need to help us, need to give us money, this is not new. Police have warned, as you mentioned to me earlier, in March of this year, that this type of scamming is becoming more prevalent again. That said, these things change over time. Scammers learn from past mistakes and develop new tactics so that they become more credible. What has changed in this new re-emergence of this type of scamming?
Yeah. So the Singapore Police Force actually said that something that was different in this scam was that they seem to be actively trying to frustrate police investigations. The senior investigation officer, he also shared that there was something in particular that he had never seen before in previous impersonation scams.
The victim was asked to put up makeup to suggest that he has been put under tremendous pressure and has been beaten up and has suffered injuries. I think that is to really exert pressure on the family members to really to part with the money to the scammers.
So something else that was also unusual in this case was that there were other victims who were also involved in perpetuating this charade of this so-called kidnapping. A 25-year-old man was recruited to pass a SIM card over to this 21-year-old victim to help in communicating with these so-called officials. A 15-year-old boy actually passed some rope, some bandages, some bandage tape, and some makeup to this 21-year-old man to help with this, putting on the bruises and the injuries to make the whole kidnapping plot look more real in that sense. So it's very multi-layered. You're not just dealing with the criminal directly anymore. They're actually recruiting people who are innocent themselves and who believe they are actually trying to help into this entire charade. And also particularly worrying is the fact that a very young 15-year-old boy was also tricked and eventually implicated in this entire scam.
All right, thanks for that. Gwyneth, our reporter, Gwyneth, you're looking at this new style of scamming going on and the things we perhaps should be looking out for.